Mic'd up.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Oh, thanks for joining us again on Highlights from Lowlifes. We have a special guest in his first show ever. Mike Miwok Burrell is joining us as our fourth.
Hey.
We got Hase Panay and Robbie Lannerman and myself, Rob Weber, and we are going to talk about an interesting topic that should have an array of different answers. Top 5 plays or games by Major League Nobodies. So what we mean by that is somebody whose career was fairly nondescript, but they did have a play or a game that stood out. Maybe somebody saved a no hitter. Maybe somebody hit a big home run at a given time. These are all potential answers here. We have quite a few comments in our list already. If you want to join in, it's easy. Don't be afraid. Hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen, and a 30-second timer will start. That is when you talk. You've got 30 seconds to leave your comment. If that's not enough, record a second one and leave it in the comments. So we've got several in there, and we'll get to those towards the end of the show. But let's get rolling. Robbie, why don't you start off?
All right, I went really old school. Like you said, we were talking before the show that sometimes you find stuff you had no idea ever happened, and you dig it up. Back in the 19 teens, the Giants were playing against Pittsburgh in the first season of Forbes Field, which stood for many years. Christy Matheson was pitching for the Giants. It was 2-1. There was lightning flashing all around the park. The rain was starting to come down in Pittsburgh pretty hard. Ham Wyatt was a pinch hitter, stepped in and immediately tripled off of Matheson. So that kind of put things into jeopardy. Guy came in and pitch ran for him and scored a couple of minutes later on a sac fly. So with 2 outs, Pittsburgh got a couple of Tommy Leach, I guess it was, doubled, and Honus Wagner was walked intentionally. And then John McGraw and Christy Matheson and the Giants went into let's get a rain delay and hope that this game gets canceled mode. So they tried to drag things out. Bill Clem, the umpire, Hall of Famer, by the way, did not let them get away with that. So back to play we went. Dots Miller, that's right, Dots Miller for the Pittsburgh Pirates, slammed a ball deep into right center field, and Christy Matheson dropped his head and shoulders and actually started walking back towards the dugout. It looked like it was going to be a home run, but at the last minute, Jim Red Murray, thus named because of his red hair, came flashing out of nowhere, reached out with his bare hand, and about 2 feet off the ground, made a catch. Just as the ball hit his hand, a flash of lightning lit up the sky. It struck right near Forbes Field and lit up the entire stadium, and it illuminated the catch. So everybody saw the catch and saw the Pirates keep that game, the Giants keep that game tied, and all of that stuff. But so this guy, Jim Red Murray, I looked at his numbers. He was as average could be for the era that he played in. 250 hitter, like 4 home runs and 12 RBI kind of thing. But for that one moment, like frozen in time, he made a barehanded catch just a couple of feet off the ground. And for years, Honus Wagner and anybody that ever saw the game, played in the game, or knew anything about the game said it was the greatest catch of all time. So there you go.
Wow.
Jim
Wow.
Red Murray with the greatest catch of all time at the time.
Okay. I did not know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither until today.
Didn't make my top 5. Yeah. All right. Who's up?
Well, we'll have JC go so Mike can get another look at how this goes before we throw him to the wolves.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a guy who almost quit baseball before his big moment. Drafted in the 21st round in 2002. Made an MLB roster for 3 games in 2006, but got sent back down. And in 2008, he came back. Didn't play in 2009. And in 2010, he actually made the postseason roster for the San Francisco Giants. He didn't play in the World Series, but he got a World Series ring because of that. In 2011, he stayed in AAA. In 2012, he signed as a minor league free agent for the Brewers. He played like a couple games, and then he was DFA'd. Signed a minor league deal with the Orioles. Claimed by the Giants. Claimed by the Yankees. Called up when Derek Jeter went on the DL. Then he was released. Went to the White Sox. Went to the Pirates. Was going to quit. And hit 1 home run for Pittsburgh in 2014. Batted 206 and was DFA'd. So figure he's going home. But the Giants picked him up and sent him to AAA Fresno. And then Brandon Belt got hurt, and he was called up to the Giants in 2014. He eventually, Belt came back, and he went to left field. He never played there before. But on October 16th, 2014, he hit a 3-run bomb. And as John Miller put it, goodbye, a home run for the game and for the pennant. The Giants have won the pennant, and Travis Ishikawa with his Bobby Thompson moment.
Wow.
That was very unexpected. 1 home run in the year before that.
Wow.
And that was for a different team.
For a different team, no less.
Yeah, for Pittsburgh. So that was his Bobby Thompson moment, as John Miller said. That was a good one.
Cool.
Ishikawa, he hung in there for a couple more years after that, just on the strength of that home run.
Well, he played. I think he only played in 2013, and then in 2014 he had retired.
Yeah.
So all right.
You want to throw him to the Wolves?
Oh yeah, why not?
All right.
Mikey, go ahead.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do one of these things because you guys are way more elaborate than I am. But
Okay, we'll stretch it out for you.
I'm going to start off with a player from the 1950s, New York Giant, Dusty Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
As a pinch hitter versus Cleveland Indians in the 1954 World Series game number 1, comes off the bench in the 10th inning and hits the game-winning home run.
Yeah.
Of course, this particular game was the game that Willie Mays made the infamous "the catch."
Yeah.
Right?
Vic Wertz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, he comes in game 2 as a pinch hitter again with a pitch hit RBI single. Stays in the game, and in the 7th, hits what will be the game-winning home run. And then he comes back in game 3, hits a pinch hit 2-run single to help defeat the Indians 6-2, which ultimately led to the Giants winning the World Series. And Dusty Rhodes was the unofficial MVP since the MVP wasn't in effect till 1955.
Right. I learned about him through baseball cards, and then
They're
you
baseball.
see the old timey videos of him hitting the home run. So the first home run, it was right inside the foul pole down the right field line, which wasn't that far, but he hit it in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, yeah, that fits the bill for a nondescript player. So that's a good one.
Yep.
I like that
Yeah.
All right.
one. All right,
It gets totally worse from there.
Oh, good. I can't wait. Okay. All right, I'm gonna talk about a guy that played in the 1940s. He premiered in 1937, finished up his career in 1949. He was a pitcher. His one loss record was 69-69. So he was around for a while. 3.5 ERA. His name was Charles Henry Red Barrett, and as Robbie said, they called him Red because his hair was red. All right. So what do you have you guys ever heard of Red Barrett?
No.
Never.
Okay.
No, can't say I have.
Uh, decent career, but never considered to be a star. He's probably your third or fourth starter, or maybe even your fifth starter in today's type of game. But on August 10th, 1944, in the midst of the World War, when people are looking for something to do to take their mind off the war, he is throwing at Crosley Field for the Boston Braves against the Cincinnati Reds. Red Barrett finished the game, 9-inning game, complete game. He gave up 2 hits, 0 walks, 0 strikeouts. He threw in 9 innings, 58 pitches for a complete game. It was the shortest game in the history of baseball up to that point, 1 hour and 15 minutes. The
Wow.
final score of the game was 2-0. The game was umpired by the famous Jocko Conlon, and Jocko said, he threw 58 pitches. I don't think I could count the number of called balls on one hand that he had. He just was efficient. He wasn't trying to get people out. It was Greg Maddux before there was a Greg Maddux, just surgical and keeping people off balance.
Throw me a
And he
ground
won the
ball.
game. Yeah, won the game 2-0 because the other pitcher, whose name escapes me, a pretty good pitcher, he was having a good game too. So imagine taking your kid out to the game and you're on your way home an hour and 15 minutes later.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
Man, you could only drink 3 beers in that time.
I know.
Well,
Well, you. Come on.
you.
Yeah, I'm the slow one.
All right. Let's go into round 4. All right, Mike, you start this one off for us.
All right. This one, you'll probably tell me that it doesn't qualify. It doesn't work, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hosmer Alvarez is a pitcher.
Okay.
He's in a minor league game for the Visalia Single A Rawhide. He recorded a 5 strikeout inning against the Inland Empire 66ers on 4/23 of 24. This makes only the 5th time in minor league history 5 outs has been recorded, and it's never been done in major league history. There's only been a 4-out inning in major league
Yeah.
in the major.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah,
I
I
have
was.
questions. I've got questions. So did that guy, did he ever make the big leagues?
I could not find out that he did when he was in 2024. It was a Diamondbacks affiliate,
Right.
and
So he may still be around. It's still working its way up there.
he may be.
I got to look him up.
Could
I
be
got to look him up now.
Could be in prison. It's hard to say.
Right.
But
So-
And that's early in the season, so he may have ended his week averaging more than 3 strikeouts an inning.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. I'd found the stats to be amazing that that's only happened in the minors, and it's never happened in
Well,
the majors.
I
So
mean, I mean, the catcher probably was DFA'd from single A ball the next time, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're probably
A
right.
couple of drop third strikes.
Yep, yep.
Okay. I got the rundown here. And Hosmer did not. He was not a guy I would have targeted as somebody that could have struck out 5 guys in an inning.
Right.
Um, he is still playing.
Oh, good.
His minor league record is 9-16, so he's pitching more in relief. His ERA is 3.60. He's
That's not
thrown 184 innings and he has 174 strikeouts. So
Not too bad.
yeah, I'm with JC. Um, the catcher is probably not playing anymore.
and maybe I should have named the nobody as the catcher. I'm not sure there.
Yeah, Hosmer played last year in his first year in Double A at Amarillo.
Oh, okay. So he's
Um,
moving up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm not seeing him getting too much farther. His ERA is 4.70
Yeah.
last year. So
oh,
yeah.
See, I used to haunt that Visalia Park when I was younger in high
Uh-huh.
school and stuff. So yeah, I caught that out of the corner of my eye that it was a Visalia game, and I went, I used to haunt that ballpark. It's actually in a, it's actually in a city park.
Yeah, yeah. The guy we had on the show last week, he grew up in Visalia, Leland Tilley,
Oh,
and so
okay.
he was asking us about the Rawhide games. All right,
Ah,
okay, Mike. Mike, who's up?
oh, let's go with Robbie
Okay.
Lannerman.
This is my it's my number 4, but this is really my number 1. But I'm worried one of you guys has it, so I want to jump out ahead of you.
Uh-oh.
This guy was drafted by the Giants in 1987. He was a pretty slick fielding shortstop. By all accounts, had a decent bat coming up. That did not happen when he played 14 years in the major leagues, though, which is pretty incredible. Hitting a whopping 229 during his career, but he was a very slick defensive player. Um, and being drafted in 1987, he made the big club in 1989 with the Giants. So he never played more than 68 games a year with the Giants. And in his final season with the Giants in 1995, however, something magical happened. One night in midsummer in Montreal, the light hitting backup infielder Mike Benjamin went 4 for 6 against the Expos. The next day, the light hitting backup shortstop got the start again and went 6 for 6 against the Expos. The next day, the light hitting backup shortstop for the Giants was being yelled at by Felipe Alou. Wake up, you're not Ty Cobb. Wake up, you're not Ty Cobb. Benjamin proceeded to go 4 for 4, thus setting a major league record for 14 hits in 3 consecutive games. Out of nowhere, Mike Benjamin. You don't know him, trust me. Unless you're a Giants fan from way back, you don't know him.
I do.
Oh,
And
I remember him. Yeah.
I do remember him.
the next day, he got another hit, so he holds the record for most 14 hits, which is the most in 3 consecutive games, and 15 hits, which is the most in 4 consecutive games. So yeah, Mike Benjamin. He had one good year with Boston where he hit like 272, and all the promise that he seemed to have came to fruition. But then he got hurt, and that was that. But yeah, that was a hell of a stretch. I mean, I just remember Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow. If you watch those TV games, the Giants broadcasters were going, "Oh, there's no way. You got to be kidding me. You got another one?" But I love the story of Felipe Alou on the third day yelling at him, "Wake up, you're not Ty Cobb. Wake up, you're not Ty Cobb."
That's great.
Webby, what do you got?
All right. To kind of set up this show and get you guys on the right path, I used an example, and I'll talk about that now. In 2009, Mark Burley was pitching a pretty darn good game against the Rays. This would have been July 23rd at U.S. Cellular Field. He had a perfect game going into the ninth inning, and the White Sox decided to make a defensive replacement in center field. They brought in a guy by the name of Dwayne Weiss. And sure enough, just like in any defensive replacement, the ball got hit to Weiss. It was hit by former Giants manager Gabe Kapler, who was playing for the Rays, and he hit a shot up the left field gap that looked to be out of the ballpark. And Wise did one of those Bo Jacksons where he kind of ran halfway up the wall, stuck his glove up over the fence and grabbed it and came rolling to a stop. He thought that he had dropped the ball, so he had it kind of cradled against his body, but he never did. That saved the no-hitter and saved the perfect game. And a week later, Burley gave to Dwayne Weiss his own bottle of Crown Royal, where he had it specifically made with, remember the purple bag that Crown Royal comes in?
Yeah.
Right.
He had Weiss's name stitched on it along with the perfect game and the date. So Weiss's career,
That's cool.
other than that, was pretty nondescript. I mean, he hung around for 10 years. Hit 31 homers and batted .228, a point below Mike Benjamin. But he never was a regular player. The most at bats he got in a season was 220. So this was the pinnacle of his career. Dwayne Weiss. All right. Hey, JC, what do you got?
Okay. Well, it's time to break out the fighting hydrants. And if you're a Giants fan, you know that's F.P. Santangelo, Armando Rios, and Marvin Bernard.
Yep.
And Marvin Bernard's the one I want to talk about because Marvin was he was a decent outfielder. He didn't really have much power. In the 5 years leading up to 1999, which was the final season at Candlestick, he had hit a total of 10 home runs, never more than 5 in a season. So, last game, Candlestick Park, Marvin Bernard steps up and he hits the last home run by a San Francisco Giant out of Candlestick Park. September 30th, 1999, yours truly was there. And they lost to wait for it, Robbie.
Don't say it.
Dodgers.
Dodgers, 9-4. But Marvin stepped up and played beyond his ability. So that's my number 4.
Marvin
That's a
Bernard.
good one.
You said he was an okay outfielder. I saw that guy. He used to take 2 steps in on every ball hit. I saw him take a ball like it went 495 feet into dead center field, and he was going in. Just a side note.
All right. Hey, we got through 2 rounds, and as far as we know, nobody hung up on us yet. So what should we do now?
Yeah, I think our listener is still listening in the other room. So yeah,
Oh, good.
kept our listener count up.
Yeah.
Well, it's my favorite part of the show. It's a segment we like to call "What You Drinking," and as you know, every episode of this show so far has been sponsored. 120 something odd episodes, right? They've all been sponsored by Almanac Brewing, who apparently doesn't watch, because if they saw this cacophony of crap, they probably would not continue to sponsor us. But here we are. So anyway, we get lovely beers to try from them all the time, and then we get to talk about them here in this part of the show. And it is my favorite part of the show. I'm drinking the Almanac Adventureland Pills. I got jealous of JC drinking it all the time, and this is a really crisp, flavorful beer. And I will say that is the hallmark of Almanac. whether you're drinking a light beer like their Pilsner, and they even have a couple of lighter Pilsners than this, there's always a rich amount of flavor, even if it's a light drinkable beer. If you want the real serious bourbon barrel aged stuff or the sours like Webby likes, they have plenty of
Ah,
those, the real rich, deep, full body beers. But you're never gonna drink a beer from Almanac that doesn't have a buttload of flavor. So anyway, this Pils is delicious, easy to drink, but still great tasting.
question.
Yes.
Question. How much is a buttload?
Well, sorry, I forgot that you use metrics. So
Uh,
before this goes really off the rail, what are you guys drinking?
What do you got, JC?
Well, I pulled out the Adventureland because it has the map of Adventureland, the brewery. Now they call it Adventureland, and this is the Pilsner. And Robbie's right. They have a lighter Pilsner. The Crispy Girl, is even lighter than this one, but it also has a good flavor to it, a good Pilsner, kind of a tang to it. So, and I know that uh, Mikey uh, wasn't able to find any Pilsner in Arizona, but cheers to you anyway, Mike.
all right.
Well,
Yeah, we got to play this. We got the answer to Webby's question about the equivalency of a buttload.
An imperial buttload is 2.5 times a metric buttload.
oh, okay, there you have it.
Thank you, 9521 Atlanta Braves podcast for stepping in and doing the math that we were incapable of.
Yeah.
All right,
That was awesome.
I tonight was. It's raining here where I live, and I looked in my fridge, and I was completely out of almanac, and I went out in the rain and walked to the liquor store, 15 miles there, 20 miles back. I was
Uphill
able to
both ways.
find, yeah, I was able to find my favorite, which is the Love Hazy IPA. And good news, fellas, the Adventureland is now available in liquor stores, as
All
I
Ah,
found
right.
it tonight.
Yeah.
So I got some of that too. I just couldn't do this podcast with a can of Bud in my hand, so I had to go get almanac. So,
and
all
Mike is
right.
on location in Arizona, so he does not have an almanac in his hand, and he's very jealous of us right now.
I am. The Pilsners sound really great, and we're going to have to work out a deal. I bring you some stuff, Robbie. You get me some almanac. I
Yeah,
take it back
Yeah,
home.
I
yeah.
think we can make magic happen, Mike.
There you go.
Mhm.
I do want to challenge the 9521 Atlanta Braves podcast to
Oh, yeah.
give us the equivalency of a shit ton.
Does that have
Just,
anything?
I mean,
Is that anything? Is that
if
anything
we're
like
gonna
a
do one, we
shitload?
may as well do both, right? And also, this is where Almanac has cut their sponsorship with us. So, anyway, thank you, Almanac, for sponsoring us. We'll continue to talk good about your beers, and we actually do enjoy them. That's the best part about this. So, if you're out in California, get out to Alameda. If you're not, plan a visit. The brewery's really fun. As you can see from the map, look it up online. It's pretty terrific. There's dog friendly, kid friendly, beer friendly, people friendly. They got a sandbox. They got old video games. They got new pinball machines and old pinball machines. They might take you around on a tour and see all the wooden casks and everything they brew the beers with. So get out there. It's well worth the visit. It's a great place. And if you do visit, tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show, and they may take pity upon you.
Excellent. Hey, let's
Well
move
done.
into a round three, as this show is dragging on way too long. JC, you finished up round four. Who starts off this round?
Let's have Mikey do it.
All right. All right. I'm not so sure this is a nobody, but I have to bring it up. It's the greatest play that happened without a pitch being thrown.
Oh,
Mm.
Okay. April 25th, 1976. Rick Monday playing center field for the Chicago Cubs at Dodger Stadium. Protesters jump on the field, start to burn the American flag. He intercedes, picks up the flag, runs off the field with it. Um, and this year, that particular rescued flag will be a Hall of Fame exhibit in celebration of America's 250th birthday.
Awesome. Awesome.
That is
Yeah.
great. That is great because we will
Yeah.
be there.
Yes, we
Yeah,
will.
I hope you guys get to see that. So,
So I met Rick Monday at a LA Dodgers fantasy camp,
oh,
and we talked about that because I'm a Cubs fan, and I had to understand a little bit more about what it was like for him because he did that when he was with the Cubs. Um, if you see the picture, the two guys that are burning the flag, they look just like your hippies of the '60s. They're out there. I think they were shirtless with jeans and the long, shaggy, inappropriate hair that several of the major leaguers were then sporting.
yep, yep, yeah. It was 76.
Yeah, but Rick said, it was a no brainer.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything all that wonderful. I just said this. I'm not going to let these people embarrass everybody because
yeah.
of their political beliefs. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I know that he was a Marine reservist either before this happened or after. I don't know when he did his.
before,
It was
before.
before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm sure that had a lot of motivation for him to go into action, so to speak.
yeah. hmm
Yeah.
All right, who's up?
Uh, did I finish that round?
No,
No,
Mikey.
Mike.
Mike
Send
just
it.
let it off. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah.
wake up.
Oh, God, you're hammered already? Jeez, we're only halfway through the show.
I'm trying.
All right, Mike, tell us who's up.
Ah, we're gonna go. We'll let JC go. He's anxious. He's anxious.
All right, good.
We got
It'll
to keep
keep him
him
awake.
awake.
Okay.
Yeah.
This may be a slight rules violation,
Here.
but ALDS Yankees versus Indians. The game is tied in the ninth, and there's two outs and a runner on second. Who would have predicted that a broken down old catcher with bad knees would attempt a squeeze bunt?
Oh God.
Taylor. He looks at the manager, goes, and the manager says, "That's a hell of an idea." Yep. He lays down
This
the
is
bunt, beats it out, and Willie Mays Hayes scores, and the Indians win. The Indians win.
uh, this is worse than Rabbit Moranville.
Rabbit
I've been
Randall's coming
redeemed.
up, believe me. Okay, Robbie, go ahead.
All right. Let's go back to 1920.
Okay.
Yeah.
This gentleman achieved something so remarkable in a World Series game. It has never even been close to have been done again. In fact, it happened so quickly, most of the players and nearly all the fans completely missed it. And allegedly, one of the umpires didn't even see it happen. It happened so quick. It's game 5 of the 1920 World Series. The Indians are playing Brooklyn. There's runners at first and second for Brooklyn. Bill Wamsgans catches a line drive.
Huh?
Yep, exactly. Bill Wamsgans catches a line drive on the move. His momentum carries him across second base. So he's caught the ball, batter's out. The runner at second is out because he's moving that way and tagged the base. The runner at first never saw him catch the ball. He comes plowing right into Wamsgan's glove for the third out. Bill Wamsgan, game 5 of the World Series, comes up with an unassisted triple play. So both of the runners in that game claimed the ball was hit so hard they never saw it. They thought it was in center field, and they were both trying to score.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everybody knows the correct pronunciation is Wamba gas.
Whatever. Yeah, you're the guy that said Binghamton for Binghamton, so I'm going to go with Wamsgans.
All right, you go with what you know. That's good. All right, let me close out this round. I actually saw this play. A nondescript Cubs outfielder in 1969 who ended up having 31 hits in his entire career. Jimmy Qualls was on the 69 Cubs, and he was the last guy on the bench, and Tom Seaver was throwing a perfect game at Shea Stadium against the Cubs on July 9th. And with one out in the ninth inning, Qualls pinch hit and got a base hit, breaking up the no-hitter, breaking up the perfect game. Otherwise, Tom Seaver has yet another tremendous game. Qualls had 31 hits in his career, 5 doubles, 3 triples, no homers, and a .223 batting average. So that was the highlight of his career, the breaking up a no-hitter by Tom Seaver. So cool. That's the end of that round. Let's jump right into a second round.
Wait, was he related to Chad Qualls?
He was not.
Okay.
But thanks for the question.
Yeah. As far as you know.
All right, JC, start off the next round.
All right. Speaking of almost unknown players, Bill Bates played for the A's and the Giants. He had 8 home runs in his 3-year MLB career. Who would have thought that playing for the Giants in his first at bat in the World Series against the A's that he would hit a home run in 1989? But that's what happened. And it didn't end well for the Giants, as everybody knows. But Bill essentially ended his career with a home run in the World Series. I think he only started 2 games in that series.
If I'm not mistaken, he was from Woodland, right? Woodland, California?
Yes, I believe so.
Mm-hmm. I saw that homer.
He was part of what they called the Killer Bees.
The Killer Bees
that season. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. So oddball thing, but that's what this topic's about.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Mikey, you're up.
Okay, well, here we go. This individual may or may not be a nobody at this point in time in his career. In fact, it's in the latter half of his career. But for this particular game, I think he is the nobody. This is 2001 World Series, Game 7, bottom of the ninth inning. And everybody knows who got all the TV coverage. But I'm going to go through this. In the bottom of the ninth inning, as a pinch hitter, Jay Bell is asked to bunt the runner to third base. The sacrifice failed. The runner's called out at third base. Base is tagged. Bell, now on first base, is advanced through subsequent hits to third base. Of course, Luis Gonzalez hits a bloop single, leaving Bell to score from third base, winning the World Series for the Diamondbacks, making him the true nobody of the game. Because Luis Gonzalez was the only one who was recognized for hitting the blooper and jumping up and down, running to first base.
I'm guessing that not one of us knew who scored that run.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. Pick a Rob.
All right, we'll go with Webby.
All right. So, for those of you who are watching our show and don't know how many of us met, we met at a San Francisco Giants fantasy camp. And the commissioner, the organizer, the owner of the fantasy camp was former Giants infielder Rob Andrews. Rob played for 5 years in the big leagues with the Astros and the Giants and retired in 1980, I believe. Rob was a regular player for much of that time,
Yeah.
but in his major league career, he hit just 3 home runs. 2 of them were in the same game off of Tom Seaver.
Wow.
1979. Rob, I've talked to Rob about this many times. He talks about, he broke out the big wood in that game and clubbed 2 homers off of Seaver, one early in the game and one very late in the game because Seaver threw a complete game and beat the Giants 10-3. But Rob points out to me all the time that he was responsible for all 3 Giants
All
runs.
3
And
runs. There you go.
yes,
All right.
So
Did not know that. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Much to his dismay, his assistant gave me that bat.
Oh,
I have the Rob Andrews bat that he hit the home runs off at Tom Seaver with.
Wow.
wow.
So yes, Rob Andrews' final career statistics.
I don't know why
Yeah.
that happened.
Yes, 3 home runs and 91 RBIs over his 5-year career. But he's very happy to talk about the Seaver home runs. So
Yeah.
all right, Robbie, I think you finish up this round.
Okay, I'm going to go with 5'7", 155-pound Billy Bates.
Ooh, okay.
Billy Bates was on the Reds' 1990 postseason roster, basically for speed. He barely played. He was a late season call-up, so they could qualify him for the roster just as a pinch runner and some speed, maybe a little bit of defense if they needed it. So it was kind of odd when in the World Series against the A's, he was summoned to pinch hit in the 10th inning. I believe it was Game 2 of the World Series, to pinch hit against Dennis Eckersley. Little Billy Bates hit an infield single, his only hit in a Cincinnati uniform. Beat it out, came around to score on a Joel Oliver single, scoring from first base. The Reds went on to win the World Series over the A's, and Bates never again played in the major leagues.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of that John Pachorik, Doug Clary, Billy Bates kind of story.
Yeah.
Where one game in the World Series, he got a little dribbler, scored on a single, and we have history. So Billy Bates.
Wow. Cool. All right. Hey, I think we finished round 2 there.
Yeah.
Let me talk a little bit about Mic'd Up. Again, if you want to chime in on the show, hit the microphone at the bottom of the screen. A timer will start, 30 seconds. That is when you talk. You've got 30 seconds to leave us a message. If that's not enough time, just do it again and continue your thought. Like all of these people that have left us comments tonight, that's fine. We'll get that fixed in the future so you got more time to air out your grievances. We had a show on the platform today called Speak of the Devils. It was a show put on by the New Jersey Devils hockey team, hosted by play-by-play announcer Matt Laughlin. Matt interviewed former Sharks and current Devils defenseman Brendan Dillon, and they talked about the Devils' playoff chances and a lot of other cool things. That show should be in your archives on the app now. It's about a half hour long. Went really well, and it looks like they're going to be doing some more shows here in the near future.
I just want to say, for as unprofessional as we are, We start on time.
They started on time.
They
were
were
on
not
time.
on time. I waited and waited and waited. They were like
Oh,
half an hour behind.
They started exactly on time. Sorry, man.
Damn it.
You had trouble. You had trouble reading the screen, I guess.
Yeah. I kept hitting the button.
No, they were there. They were there. Let's see a couple other shows that are going on. Dogs Hoops. Will Hopkins is talking about Georgia basketball. He had a show early this morning talking about the Kentucky game. Let's see, AJ Robner and the Robner Report. AJ and Steve have been lamenting the New York Rangers season, as they should be. I think they're ready to move on to another sport, but there's not much going on. Yeah.
Oh boy, here come the Mets. Woo.
Oh, they're very excited about the Mets. They're
Of
very
course,
excited. They can't be
everybody
good.
in New York's excited about the Mets until September.
Hey. You
Or
know,
maybe until
every new
July.
Yeah,
every new season is something to look forward to. And want to thank some of our partners, obviously, Almanac, thank you. Um, uh, and then, of course, Mic'd Up, thank you for allowing us to do this for as long as we have. And so I think we'll keep doing it as long as they allow us to. But I really would like some beer, Robbie. I want some beer.
I told you I got a trunk load, which is different than a shit ton or a buttload.
What do you guys live? About a half hour apart? What's going on over there?
Yeah, but it's raining.
Oh, I got it.
We do not live a half an hour apart. It's probably 100 miles.
Oh,
It's
wow.
right
What?
around 100. Yeah.
Yeah, when you go the long way.
All right, I'll drive up. Okay. Okay. Hey, let's finish off this fiasco. Let's see, Robbie, you finished that round.
Yes.
Who starts?
Let's have Miwok Mike start us.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go way outside of boundaries. I'm going to go probably get your boo meter ready. I'm not sure. But anyway,
Uh-oh.
I saw this the other day and I was so amazed that I had to do a little bit of research to see if it has happened or not. To the best of my knowledge and what I can find out, there's only been one team in the major leagues that has hit 3 grand slams in the same game. This happens to be the 2011 New York Yankees, and not these guys they're not nobodies. Robinson Cano, Russell Martin, and Curtis Granderson did that, and they're the only team that I can find that's had 3 grand slams in the same game in the major leagues. On February 13th this year, a young man named Tice Armstrong with Baylor as a first baseman hit 3 grand slams in the same game by himself. This is only the second time this has happened in baseball that I can
Yes.
find.
Yes.
I was so amazed. I watched the clips of his home runs and I said, well, I'm researching stuff. Let's see if that has even happened. And I couldn't find it anywhere in history. And so, sorry, I went off script, but
No. That's a good one. That's a good
That's a
one.
good
So
one. That's fun.
I actually read about that, and it's funny to read the article because who's ever writing the article about this really cool event
yeah.
said, "Hey, he hit 3 grand slams in the game and added 12 RBIs." So in the comments, there are people going, "Well, of course he had 12 RBIs. He hit 3 grand slams. That's three
Yeah,
times more." Yeah.
that's 3.
So
Yeah, okay.
they're joking about it. They're like, "What are you thinking?" So Mike, we've talked about this on the show before. Um, there is a guy in Major League history who hit 2 grand slams in one inning,
Inning.
and get this, off the same pitcher.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, I think
Fernando.
this
Yes.
kid did it off 3 pitchers. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fernando Tatis of the Cardinals hit two
Senior.
grand slams. Yeah, senior hit two grand slams off of Chan Ho Park in the same inning because Lasorda basically left this pitcher out there to die. So
Like a Lasorda deal right there.
yeah,
But
yeah,
whoa, wow. Fernando
yeah,
Tatis Sr. Okay.
yes, yes.
All
All
right.
right, Mike, who's up?
Ah, let's do Robbie Lannerman.
All right, my number one is pretty cool. We at least Webby and I were on the baseball trip that Lowlifes do every year last year, and we got to spend some time at the Clemente Museum, and there was a small section dedicated to this home run, which has been long forgotten in the lore of baseball history. In one of the most dramatic World Series Game Sevens ever played, Hal Smith, the backup catcher for the Pirates, um, came in as a pinch hitter in the eighth inning of the Yankees Pirates Classic Game 7, with the Pirates down 7-6. For 15 minutes, Hal Smith hit the greatest home run in baseball history. He uh, he knocked the ball out of the park and gave the Pirates the lead at 9-7 in the eighth inning, at home in Forbes Field. The place went crazy. The radio announcer shouted, "We have just seen the most miraculous moment in all of baseball history!" And Clemente and Dick Groat, who were on base, waited for him and jumped all over the place. It was just pandemonium. The problem was the Pirates had burned through all their pitching staff. Uh, Roy Face, who normally would have been in that game at that point of time to save them, had already been used and was out. So Bob Friend came in, and the Yankees, of course, tied it up at 9-9. Later on in the 10th inning, Bill Mazeroski hit his famous home run, which probably propelled him to the national spotlight and gave him a lot more recognition uh, than Hal Smith would ever get. But to a man, from Clemente to Dick Groat to Roy Face and everybody on that Pirates team, Danny Murtaugh, everyone said that no home run in the history of baseball that they witnessed was more spectacular than the Hal Smith home run, because they were down 9-7. Mazeroski hit a home run in a tie game, a solo shot, and that was it. But this was a pinch hit home run in the bottom of the eighth inning to give the Pirates, at least for that time, a lead. And I mean, Mazeroski doesn't happen if Hal Smith doesn't happen. So it's almost like Petroselli and Carlton Fisk, in the World Series,
Yeah,
or excuse me, Bernie Carbo
Bernie
in
Carbo. Yeah. Hmm.
Bernie Carbone and Carlton Fisk, that it doesn't happen without the other guy. And so Hal Smith, that's pretty spectacular. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
JC?
Great trip, by the
Yeah,
way.
I
That museum was fabulous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was. Yep. I was fascinated by that little display in there about the Hal Smith home run.
I'm going to go. This guy was not as obscure uh, as some of the others, but he was my very first uh, fantasy camp coach, and I love the guy.
So it was Christy Mathewson.
Yeah, yeah, but but
And you guys
in
were only 20 years apart, right?
yeah, in 1967, think about the National League pitchers. You had Bob Gibson, you had Don Drysdale, you had Juan Marichal, and you had Fergie Jenkins. And there are a couple more that are just studs. This guy, even though he pitched for quite a while, had never won more than 15 games in his 16-year major league career up to that point.
Wow.
He won 22 and nabbed the National League Cy Young Award win, Michael Francis McCormick,
Yeah.
1967 Cy Young Award winner. And, we lost him in 2020, but Mike was truly, a guy who, a journeyman through years and years, and had a great year with career wins, and he got a well-deserved award. Mike McCormick.
Yep.
Very
Now,
cool.
That was my first coach in 2005, along with Debbie Davenport.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
spectacular time and memory. So
Great gentleman.
yeah.
Yep.
Before you go, Webby, I got a quick Mike McCormick story. The first year the Giants at fantasy camp played the Cubs fantasy campers, it was odd because the Cubs fantasy campers used a pitching machine. And so we got over there in the morning. We're all laughing on the bus. It's like, we got real pitching and they got pitching machines. We got to hit off a pitching machine. So we get there and Mike McCormick makes a beeline from the bus. Glenn Beckert is out there for the Cubs feeding the pitching machine, getting his guys ready for the game. And all the Cubs players they've got their pitching machine time. They're all dialed in. So Beckert and McCormick are out there laughing and talking and things wrap up and we're getting ready for the game. And I see Mike McCormick just did this little slap on the speed bar to increase the speed of the pitching machine. So the Cubs had spent all morning hitting off the pitching machine, and Mike just gave it a little bump and walked away. Yeah. They were behind everything. We had a good first baseman. We beat the hell out of them. It was just grounder to first, because they were so late on everything.
Mike actually played on my senior baseball team in the San Francisco Bay Area. He played a couple of years with us. He didn't want to pitch. He liked to play first base most of the time and hit. It was a blast to have him on the team. Just a great guy.
Gentleman, real gentleman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
All right.
You
Who has
finish
gone
up.
this round? It's
Everybody
me?
but you.
I think you're wrapping it up.
I cannot believe that you guys haven't mentioned this player. So before I do that, I want to talk about some people I forgot to mention. The Lowlifes are now a member of the Romantic About Baseball Network, which includes several different podcasts and news services about baseball. And a couple of them that I really like is Rounding Third Baseball. You gotta find these guys on Facebook. It's Nick and Harrison. They have some of the greatest trivia during their shows where they want you to fill in the blanks. So it's the last 20 minutes of their 2 to 2.5 hour show that they do twice a week. These guys are dedicated. So look them up, Rounding Third Baseball. And then for baseball content, there's another guy on the internet that I really like called the Baseball History Dork. Yes, the Baseball History Dork. So look him up. He's got a little article about Eddie Feiner from The King and His Court that you should take a look.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's talk about somebody that I can't believe you all missed. So Matt Cain threw a perfect game for the Giants. And what year was that? What year was Matt Cain's perfect game, guys? It's 2012, June 13th, 2012. I was at the game, and a pretty weak hitting Houston Astros team was in town, and a nondescript outfielder came up in the seventh inning named Jordan Schaefer, who hit a bomb into the right center field gap, and Gregor Blanco ran that ball down and made a tremendous diving catch that preserved the perfect game. And Cain went on to finish the game. Blanco went 306 games in the outfield without committing an error. So this is somebody that was a pretty damn good ball player defensively. But as a major leaguer, he was pretty nondescript, kind of a nobody. So that is my final pick. All right. Hey, Robbie, we got a ton of guys that have left us messages. The one at the top, I'm not sure what that means, so maybe skip that one.
No, I want to play it because I want to find out.
Oh, God, this is going to be bad.
This could go horribly wrong. So qualifier, Almanac did have nothing to do with this. Oops. There we go.
Okay, so you've just made a small child very excited that you played their stuff on the air.
And I gotta be honest, the name was Eric Eloy Camacho, and I'm like, how can I not hit play on that?
Yeah.
So Macho Camacho, thanks for chiming in. Teddy Bear.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Teddy Bear's here. He's got two.
Hey guys, Teddy Bear here. Here's my top great plays by MLB Nobodies in no particular order. Travis Ishikawa's game-winning home run to send the Giants to the World Series in 2014. Bartolo Colon's home run. He looked like a man trying to chop down a tree, but it left the yard. Gregor Blanco's diving catch in center field to preserve Matt
Ah,
Cain's
yes,
perfect
yes,
game
yes.
in the seventh. More to come. Teddy Bear continuing on. Billy Hatcher's 7 straight hits in the 1990 World Series for the Reds. Dwayne Wise's perfect game catch. It's the ninth inning. Perfect
Yeah,
game
there
on
you
the
go.
line. Defensive replacement. Leaps above the wall. Loses the ball. Catches it again barehanded. Perfect game preserved. And Cody Ross turning into Babe Ruth in the 2010 Giants game.
Oh, that's
A
a good one.
career
Yeah.
role player suddenly hitting bombs off of Roy Halladay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
Matlock.
share some memorable plays by not so famous Major League Baseball players. One, on August 23rd, 2009, the Phillies and the Mets were playing. Mets had runners in first and second with no outs and trailed 7-9. Phillies second baseman Eric Bruntlett caught a line drive near the bag for an unassisted triple play to end the game.
So, for those of you who have been to the Hall of Fame, there is a section in the Hall of Fame that celebrates all of the triple plays that have happened in the history of Major League, unassisted triple plays. Bruntlett, there's a video of the triple play, but not from Wamsagas or what?
Wamsgans? Hello.
Wamgas.
Wamsgans. It looks just like lambs with a Gans after it. Lambsgans. I think that was his number one. So now we'll work our way from the other side.
My number 4 and 5 on June 5th, 1999, the Mets and the Yankees. Yankees pitcher Orlando Hernandez on a comebacker throws glove to first base to get the runner out because the ball was stuck in his glove. And number
Yes.
5, last year in 2025, Giant center fielder Hung Hoo Lee catches a fly ball with his knees against the Tampa Bay Rays. Giant fans calling it the catch of the decade. These are my 5 memorable plays.
God,
I love that I did
he
these out
sounds
of
like an
order.
announcer. Yeah.
Number 3, in 2006, Game 1 of the National League Division Series between the Dodgers and the Mets, Mets catcher Paul LaDuca made a double tag at the plate on Jeff Kent and J.D. Drew of the Dodgers for a double play.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
I like that he left me some silence there so I could play that.
Yeah.
Number 2, in 2015 in the American League Division Series, Game 5 between the Blue Jays and the Rangers with a runner on third base, Blue Jays catcher Russell Martin's throwback to the pitcher, Aaron Hernandez, didn't make it as it hits the Texas Rangers batter Shin Soo Choo's outstretched hand and rolled away, allowing the runner from third to score from third base.
Yeah.
And
It was he was up against the 30-second barrier on that one.
And then the 95-21, which I called them 95-21 earlier, then realized they won World Series as 95 and 21. So I kind of blew
Yes.
that. The
Yes,
95-21 Atlanta Braves podcast has come back again.
What about Francisco Cabrera's base hit in the bottom of the ninth of the 1992 NLCS?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
had 10 at-bats in the majors that year. And
Yes.
didn't do anything
Excellent.
afterwards.
What about
Excellent.
What about the 95-21 Atlanta Braves podcast not bringing up the mad dash by Sid Bream in the playoffs with the four hopper from Barry Bonds?
Well, it's all in the same inning. It's all in the same inning.
That's true.
But probably the most nondescript thing, and I think the Braves podcast will agree, was Rick Camp's home run in that game that lasted 87 years.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, this guy's not, he's batting 061. There's no way he hits a home run in the 16th inning of this game to keep it going. And he did.
And that's
So,
and that's Rick Camp, the reliever that would come in like when you were up 10-2 or down 10-2. Then he would pitch 3 or 4 innings to eat up the game. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Even he was embarrassed. Yeah.
Before we go, you do the Reader's Digest version of your Doug Clary story, because I do think that fits here, and that's probably the all-time great, and it's one of the highlights of our show ever.
Oh, yeah. April of 1976, the St. Louis Cardinals have experienced a buttload of injuries. How's that, Rob? I use buttload. And a gentleman by the name of Doug Clary is called up from the minors, and he is told, you'll be sitting on this bench. You might get a few innings of defense at the end of a blowout game, but you're just here to make sure we have somebody in case of an injury. The Cardinals come to Candlestick Park for a series. It's Wednesday, getaway day game. All we want to do is get this game in, jump on a plane, go home. Of course, the game goes into extra innings. It keeps going and going and going and going. And finally, in a 2-2 game, Clary is the last position player on the bench. They call him to face Mike Caldwell of the Giants. Don Kessinger is on first base for the Cardinals. And Clary hits, I believe, the second pitch out over the left field wall at Candlestick Park for the only hit of his career. He went 1 for 4. It won the game. He was back in the minors a few days later. I acquired one of his bats as a child, and I delivered it to him a couple of years ago. I found him. He's running a pizza parlor down in L.A. Our fathers worked together, and he was very happy to get the bat, and it's displayed on the wall inside of Cheech's Pizza. So,
yeah. All right.
And 95-21 Atlanta Braves podcast, who I'm really starting to enjoy, has come back with one more comment.
The Rick Camp game started on July 4th. They had fireworks planned. They had to wait until July 5th to let off the fireworks at 4 in the morning.
Very good.
I was watching it on TBS. I was going, oh my God, it's past midnight. I wonder what it is on the East Coast.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
All right. I think that Miwok Mike has had a great show. You did a great job, Mike, for your first show. We may have you back. We'll have a vote about it later on, and if you pass, we'll induct you into the Lowlifes Hall of Fame. All right.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but hey, I appreciate being on. I appreciate you having me. I've had a great time.
You got it. Next week, we are going to interview a columnist by the name of Amanda Vogt. Amanda has written an article about a town in South Carolina called Irmo, IRMO, and it's known as the most baseball a baseball town can get. Everybody in that town is all about baseball, specifically the Little League team. So we're going to interview her about an article she wrote last month. So tune in for that next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. All right. Anything else, guys?
Nope. Thanks, guys.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Play us out.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights.
Thank you, Almanac.